Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in the Let's Play with Brighton on FM 2013, and this is the season review for 2019-20. And as you can see, Manchester United have won the title yet again. That is 3 times in a row, 3 consecutive occasions, and Edinson Cavani once again finishing top scorer. So if you were watching the last episode, you may be wondering, oh, what happened to Wilfried Zaha? What happened to your title challenge? This happened. We just fell away. We died a miserable death at the end of the season, basically. I mean, we just got in, squeezed there into the Champions League spots. Just about. Chelsea overtaking us. I'm not sure if you could say this is 1 step forward, 2 steps back or something, but it's just, at the moment, I'm still struggling to make that last extra step, that extra push that would take me to the title. Now, it's a combination of Man United being so good and us just drawing way too many times. Again, if you look, 14 draws. Goals wise, not bad. 82 goals, only 52 conceded. I mean, that's still considerably more than Man United, and we haven't scored as many as United. I mean, Chelsea scored 101 goals. Again, it's the 100, hitting that special mark. But 82 ain't bad. We're only 3 off City, and at the end of the day, 14 goals. I mean, okay, it's not massive, but Man United's goal difference was basically double ours. So, and we finished 10 points behind them in the end. So, what happened and why did it all fall to pieces? Well, here's a little insight for you. I'll just go over the player stats real quick. As you can see, Zaha was just 1 off. He won the most. He did win, though, happily, the best amount of player of the matches, or man of the matches. He finished with 29 goals. Now that is probably one of the highest amounts of goals that I've seen a player get for a long time on this game, for my team personally. I mean, of course, I mentioned, Luis Suarez back in FM12 I think he got 45 goals or something ridiculous, or 30 odd goals in the Premier League and like 15 in Europe and all that. But yeah, that is probably one of the highest I've seen for a long time. I can't remember any of the regens getting like 29. I know Fredinho got very high amounts, but I don't think he ever got that many in a season. He spread them out. He scored like 25 every season. Zaha probably won't get that again. Well, he might do, I don't know. Markovic and Marin also getting a nice amount of assists, so we're heading in the right direction. It's just, well, we're going to have to find out what was the problem. What do you think the problem was? So, as you can see, look at the start. I mean, look at that start. There's nothing wrong there. We were undefeated, going pretty well until Swansea fucked us up. And so we ended last time on the Colchester loss, which was just ridiculous, to be honest. Alexander Pato. I think at this point I got a little bit pissed off with him and decided to not, stick with him and just think, you know what, this guy isn't good enough. he's lost his skill or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, here we go on to the next round of games. So 2-2 against Tottenham. Davide Santon scored an own goal, unfortunately, which did deprive us of the 3 points, only giving us the 1. But Strasser scored, a very rare goal for him. Honest to God, one of the finds of this game, I can tell you now. I thought it was just me seeking out Sierra Leoneans, or whatever the term for several people from Sierra Leone is. But this guy, honestly, you can get him for basically nothing from AC Milan. He's very young, and obviously now, this is like 7 or 8 years into the future now, so he's 30. But he's born in 1990, so he's very young. He's got decent, look at them physical and mental stats, they're pretty decent. Technically, he's not fantastic, but his tackling's excellent, his marking excellent. As a defensive midfielder, he is one of the best finds on this game. I cannot recommend him enough. He is a bit red card happy. I have talked about that before. You might have to maybe tweak him a bit, sort of make sure he doesn't, go flying into... He is basically, you know what he is? He is Paul Scholes. As far as I'm concerned, he is very similar to Paul Scholes. He does pop up, with the odd goal. I mean, it's not... I said before, it was rare that he got a goal. But, Scholes does score... how many goals does Scholes... I'll start one again. That was difficult to say. How many goals does Scholes get usually in a season? Maybe 5 or 6? Not at his peak. I'd say at 30 years old, which probably was his peak, actually. So yeah, I don't know, 5 or 6 goals, same as Ryan Giggs maybe. So maybe a little bit more. I think Scholes, he was very good at that. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a United fan. I'm not one to be able to talk about that type of thing. But For me, he reminds me a lot of Paul Scholes. So I cannot recommend this guy enough. I mean, if you look, I signed him from AC Milan for £5,000, basically nothing, and he has played a part every season. That was in the Premier League. Now, I don't know if you could sign him in as a Championship player, but we'll have to see in your game. But he is quality. I cannot recommend enough. Brilliant find. We've got a 3-2 victory at the Hawthorns against West Brom. A really good win, 3-2. Wilfred Zaha with a late winner, which I'll show you this goal now. Nathan Redmond, who continues to score against me. He has been an absolute nightmare every single time. He always seems to score against me, Nathan Redmond, in every game. FM11, he was absolute monster against me. FM12, he was brutal for Birmingham. I think he scored he scored a hat-trick against me several times, actually. But yeah, he's brutal. Nathan Redmond, but a good finish there from Zaha. Got a little bit lucky. And speaking of AC Milan, we played them, went to the San Siro, and oops, sorry, didn't mean that. Oh. Okay, keys aren't working. Never mind. I'll have to use the mouse. We went to the San Siro. Got an okay result, not amazing. I mean, a 1-0. In the context of all things, okay, we lost, and we didn't get that away goal. But Jack Butland had a really good game. Wilfred Zaha was a little bit off the boil, but. I took that. I was all right. I was okay with it. It was a decent result against AC Milan. 1-0 loss. And we've got to we can come home now and hopefully give them a bit of a drubbing at the Amex. But well, we can hope anyway. But in the middle of that, we had to play Chelsea. James Ward-Prowse and of course Marco Marin, who always seems to score against Chelsea. I don't know if the game has this thing now where players will score against the former clubs. I'll just show you, so certain players will get very hyped up for it. But we'll just show you these two goals real quick. Our two goals. No one wants to see Chelsea's goals, do they? Do they? No, they don't. Right. Again, I see Ronald Custer's in the action there. Good little thing. That was a tackle from him. Anyway, you can see how good he is. But check this out from Marco Marin. Look at that run. These sort of weaving, darting runs. It seems a very common goal. I mean, Dandry is down over there. Never mind. But yeah, they seem very sort of common things to do. And I don't know where the marking was there. And Ward-Prowse just runs in and buries Berry, so just runs it into the net, and that was 2-0 up against Chelsea. Just it was crazy. I mean, okay, we probably should have done a little bit better and finished them off completely, but hey, we won and that was all that matters. Next we played Wigan. Zaha and Marin and an own goal got us the victory. Strasser unfortunately got injured. That is one thing I will say about Strasser. He is a little bit, he's not overly injury prone, but he is a little bit injury prone and a little bit trigger happy when it comes to red cards. I mean, if I just show you Strasser, actually, I'll mention them just a minute ago. Well, I've talked about this previously. If we just look, the amount of red cards, he's got at least one red card every season. I'm not sure if he got one this year, but I'll have a look. So, see, if we just look here, red card, down here, check the mouse, look at the mouse, make sure you're following the mouse. There's the mouse here, red card, 1. Actually got 2 there, you got 1 internationally as well. 1. And 1. And 1 in Europe this time. 1. And this is... Oh no, we got 1 internationally. I thought the first time he's not going to get one, but no. Well, this is the first season he has not been sent off in. That's incredible. Amazing. Right. Next was a game against West Ham. Once again, the loan signings coming in here. Pato and Coutinho not having a good game. I brought in again Mikel Ferreira, who again is not a bad little player. This guy, he's a regen, just to point out. But I think I've found a decent little player who he's very young, but he's coming in and seems to have a very experienced head on his shoulders. And unfortunately, we did go out in the Champions League first knockout round this time to AC Milan. We just couldn't knock the door down and get level, and potentially could have sent the game into extra time. Unfortunately, Zaha just didn't fire that day. Ganso got injured, which was a big thing. Ronald Custers, again, you can start to see, if you've checked the things on the side there, the amount of the ratings, the good ratings that he's constantly had, you'll see that he's evolving now into a potential captain, really good player that we are going to be hopefully seeing very soon, week in, week out, every time for the next 10 years. So yeah, no Champions League, but it made that we can focus on the league now. So hopefully, we can do that. Fortunately, it didn't happen, of course, as you know better. But Zaha got 2 and Marin scored to give us a victory over Nottingham Forest. The key's still not working. That's really annoying. This is where things start to go a little bit wrong. Once we went up the Champions League, I thought, great, we can focus on the league, and that did not happen. We did lose to Huddersfield. Markovic was poor. Marin did score. Zaha didn't get going. Andre didn't get going. Cal Norton had the shocker. Royal Custers, though, yet again, 7.4, a very decent and respectable average rating, especially when you consider that's a defender in a losing team. And then we went to Old Trafford, got battered. Let's move on. 4-1 against Norwich, who, if you saw in the text before, went down. That's a bit of a shame for them, as I like Norwich. I like Norwich personally. I think they're a very nice little club. But yeah, there you go. Benchy Wenger scoring there, or I don't know how you say his name. I'm just going to call him Benchy Wenger, as it sounds funny. Marin with 2 and Zaha scoring. And again, Roller Coaster's not going below us, rating is 7. Probably going to jinx it now, aren't I? Yeah, I am as well. 6.3. Yeah, not one of his best games, although Jack Butland there. 3-3, a great game at the Amex against Liverpool here. This guy, who I believe is a regen, yep, a Turkish regen, Mohamed Atalay. Look, see, his name doesn't even fit on the fucking shirt. Yeah, good little striker for Liverpool they've signed here. And yeah, he scored a hat-trick against us. Pain in the arse. A Sorum own goal. And a Marin double. And then this was where things really just started to completely go wrong. James Ward-Prowse got us the only consolation at the Emirates. 1-1 draw against a poor Aston Villa team, it has to be said. Coutinho scoring. We got battered. Again, I hate going to friggin' Wales. I don't know what it is. I just can't play against the Welsh teams. 4-1 against Cardiff. James Ward-Prowse again getting us a late, what's it called, consolation. But Marin and Zaha poor again. Jack Butland poor. Davide Santon poor. Well, thankfully we finished the season on a high. Custers getting a goal. Wilfred Zaha getting 2. Will Buckley scoring, and Marco Marin finishes off there, allowing us to just finish ahead of Tottenham. If we'd lost that, we would have actually dropped down into the Europa League. But actually, no, we would have done. We would have finished 6th. We were challenging for the title. We could have fucking finished 6th. How bad is that? It's horrendous. I don't think there are any transfers. Let me just make sure in case I've missed any. I've got a few youngsters coming through here, which I will discuss next time. I've also sold. There's only one player I've let go, and that is Luis Felipe, who will be leaving. He is adamant. He's gone to the West Ham, as you can see. Made a slight profit on him, as I bought him in for free, I think. But he wanted first team football at the age of 22. That was not happening. He was second to Jack Butland, and I cannot guarantee him first team football, so I will bring in a more experienced keeper to aid the experience of Jack Butland. So hopefully I can rotate between the two potentially. So yeah, just a little 4 words on that, and yeah, that will do it. So yeah, a crap season really. It started well, but ended very poorly indeed. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time then. So goodbye from me.